All right, digital multimedia. So I wanted to shoot a really quick video explaining to you guys how we're going to interact with the smart objects inside of a Photoshop file. And really, it's actually very, very easy. And additionally, I'm going to show you guys how to create your own smart objects inside of a Photoshop document, which again are incredibly easy. So at any point in time during this video, if the steps get too quick, go ahead and pause it. The steps aren't really that difficult to kind of keep up with, but as with anything with Photoshop, if you don't do the steps sort of in the right order, there is a possibility that it doesn't end up coming out the way that you want it to. Now, as you can see on my screen right here, I have an image of sort of an interior shot of a house with a TV flat screen hanging up on the wall. And actually, this was an image that I downloaded from the internet for free. It was a mock-up that already had a smart object placed inside of it. As you can see, my zoom in right here, they decided to name the layer that has the smart object display. And this is kind of important because this is the area that you're going to want to go to when inserting your Walking Dead promotion that we kind of have made over the last couple of days. And this is really easy to work alongside since we already know kind of a smart object is basically a Photoshop file inside of a Photoshop file. All I need to do is double click this smart object, and a nice reminder box is going to come up telling us that there may be some text that's missing, and just remember to save if you want to actually see the changes that you make. And I'm just going to click OK, and my screen changes to this rectangular shape. It's got some text on it, and basically there could be a lot of different things here, like credits to the author or just simple directions that say, you know, place your image here. And actually, if you look at the layer setup here, it's pretty straightforward. You can see exactly what is on each layer. I can turn certain things off and on, and everything's there. Now, to get our Walking Dead promo on there, the file that we've been working with, it's as simple as just clicking File, Place, and then locating wherever you decide to save that document. And I'm going to have to go through a couple clicks here. There we go. And there is my Walking Dead demonstration that I had been doing with you guys. It looks like I've got two. It doesn't surprise me. So I'm going to click on, I guess, that red one. And there is a little bit of resizing that I might have to do just depending on the overall size of the television. So I can do that simply by holding down Alt and resizing my image a little bit, maybe nudge that over, and there we go. That looks pretty good there. I'm going to accept those changes and press enter. Now, what's crucial here and important is that you remember to save. You can save this by just going click File, Save, or the shortcut up there. We've got an error message that ends up happening every once in a while. You can save by going up to the top saying File Save, or simply pressing Command S, and it'll automatically save for you. And now we can close this smart object window out, and there is our Rick Grimes photo right on the TV. It's as simple as that. It's not really all that difficult. Now, before you turn this in, make sure you do a quick file save so that when you turn this in, it actually has the smart object that you were working with, the Walking Dead promo, in there. But what I want to show you guys now is how to actually create your own smart object from a photograph that has been created. I'm going to pause this for you guys right now so you guys can catch up, and then we're going to pick up what it would look like if you just download an image straight from the internet. All right, welcome back. So here we have a internet photo of a simple flat screen TV, and you know, it's got an image on it, but I want to try to get my Walking Dead image in here as a smart object. Now, a lot of people are simply going to copy and paste their Walking Dead and then transform it, but like we've already talked about, the power of the smart objects is that whenever you make changes to the original document, it updates everywhere. It's a Photoshop document inside of another Photoshop document. So they're very, very fun and easy to play along with, and they make making edits to the original image simple because it updates everywhere. Now, to do this, a lot of times people might get these steps confused, so I want to be very deliberate and very specific as to which steps you need to take. First, all I'm going to do is create a brand new layer so that I have a place to actually make my smart object. And that brand new layer is going to be transparent, but this is going to be where I'm making my smart object. Now, to make my smart object, I'm going to try to create a shape that kind of mimics not only the size of the screen, but also mimics the size of the document that I want on the screen. Basically, I'm going to make a shape that is kind of rectangular in nature. Now, to do this, I'm not going to actually use the rectangle tool. I'm going to use the rectangular marquee tool or the rectangular selection tool, because this eliminates one unnecessary step later on that I might have to help some of you guys out with. But I'm going to simply click at the top left-hand corner and go, I don't know, roughly down to the bottom left-hand corner, and then drag this out so that I get a shape that sort of mimics, yeah, that looks about good, the size of not only the TV screen, but the size of the document that I'm going to be trying to put in there, the size of the Photoshop document that's going to go in there. Now, I know it doesn't look like it fits the screen. It's not like distorted or in perspective, but that's okay. We're going to work on that a little bit later. Now, this selection that I've got, I'm going to go up to the top of the menu bar and click Edit, Fill, and I'm simply going to fill this with the color black and click OK. Now, this is uniquely different than just making a black rectangle, because I'm making a selection tool. If you make a black rectangle using the shape tool, you would have to come in and then rasterize this. I don't necessarily need to rasterize it because it's already basically a photograph or an image. Now, I'm going to press Command D to deselect, and this is where a lot of people get confused. You're not going to go transforming anything right now. Matter of fact, what you're going to do is two-finger click on that new layer that you made and select the option that says Convert to Smart Object. I know it sounds a little strange, but just follow me with this step, okay? So click Convert to Smart Object, and almost instantaneously I get that smart object icon down there, and I've got this weird looking black rectangle. This is now when we're going to go in and start transforming the shape of it, kind of making it fit the perspective of the TV. Now, to do that, I click Edit, Transform, and the first one I'm going to work with is the Distort option. I'm going to just drag this down towards the bottom of the left-hand side. I'm going to drag this down to the bottom of the right-hand side, and I'm going to do this again to the top of the right-hand side so that it kind of fits a little bit better on that screen. And as you can see, the X is kind of following that. If I really wanted to be super specific, I could lower the opacity a little bit so I could see the original screen behind that. It looks like we're good. I'm going to maybe nudge this bottom corner over a little bit. Yeah, that looks perfect. So I'm going to raise the opacity back up to 100%, and I'm going to click Enter. That makes my image actually the shape of the screen and in the proper perspective. Now, the rest of the steps are just basically everything that I explained in the beginning of this image. We want to try to get our Walking Dead promo in there. All we need to do is double click on the smart object, and as you can see, it changes to this black rectangular screen, which I'm going to simply say File, Place, and I'm going to locate that Walking Dead promo that I worked with. This time I'm going to use the blue one. I'm going to click Place, and I might have to resize this a little bit. Let's see, what does this do here? Oh, it looks like I'm cutting off a little bit. There we go. Nudge it over to the left a little bit, and I'm satisfied with that, so I'm just going to press Enter to accept those changes. And again, if you don't file save, or if you don't save your changes, you're going to notice that nothing ends up changing to your overall document. So I'm going to press Command S here. Now, you might get this error message, and that's okay. This is a little glitch inside of Photoshop. Just go ahead and click OK. And to double check, I'm just going to make sure I file save again by clicking Command S. And now I'm going to close this smart object out, and boom, there it is. There's my smart object right here on the actual TV the way that it was meant to be. I could go up here and maybe add a nice lens flare or play around with some lighting effects or whatever like that, just to kind of give it like the look that it's on a TV and everything. But this is absolutely everything that you guys are going to be doing today. Make sure you do not only file save the smart object, but you also, before you turn anything in, file save this too, so that when you turn it in, your actual artwork is on the computer screen or the TV screen for that matter. It wouldn't make a lot of sense not doing that, because then you wouldn't have proof that you actually did it. So I'm going to sign off here and let you guys work for the rest of the hour. And I wish you guys good luck, and I'll see you next week. Bye.